Hey, welcome everyone. We're going to get started usually at 8:03, 8:04. We let people join. We'll get started. And just in the chat room, if you'll put where you're from, that'd be awesome. All right. Hey, welcome everyone. Whoa, gosh, getting ahead of myself. Welcome everyone. This is March Ham Month. and we're going to get back on schedule with this. Sorry we missed Sunday night, and maybe the last 2 Sunday nights. I'm not sure. But so as everyone knows, hey, this is being recorded, so this is going to be awesome. We'll post this on the site. But I wanted to thank everyone. You know, I don't know if you guys have saw it or not, but my mother passed away, and it was really all of a sudden and unexpected. And so I kind of had to deal with that with the family and my bros and my sisters, and so everything is okay. But I just wanted to say a big thank you for understanding. Didn't want to put a pause on things. I just couldn't deal with some of the stuff. I mean, I just had a lot to do. It wasn't, my mom is 82, but it's in God's timing. So anyway, I just wanted to thank you guys for that. And as you guys know, this coming Sunday night, we're going to be back on schedule on Sunday. I just didn't want to skip another week. We just had to get some information out to you guys. So this coming Sunday night, the 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I need everyone here. I mean, everyone. And what are we going to discuss? We're going to discuss GMRS, FRS, MURS, and CB, and ABC, DE, okay, we're not going to do the last ones, but so we're going to be discussing all these other forms of communication. Tonight we're focused on DMR, and not RMD or whatever. I made a mistake that was clearly pointed out by Patrick and Bravo that I've sent the email out, and I was just busy today, guys. I hope y'all understand. So anyway, and I didn't know if Patrick was going to make fun of me there or not, but I'll take him out so he can't make fun of me. He'll have to do it later. So a couple things coming up. I've got an overwhelming response on cryptocurrency. I am trying to work that out. I got a guy I'm trying to bring in. He is a YouTube sensation. He's bigger than big, and I'm hoping that we can work something out. Because if he would explain it, this particular guy has made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in cryptocurrency. And that's who I'm hoping to bring on. Hey, if you guys can hear and see me, I guess you can hear and see me. Haven't seen anyone say that you can't in the chat room, but just give me a thumbs up or say yes. But we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. We're definitely going to wait till next month to do that. It's something you've got to get into. It's a must. I'm going to probably send out an email later this week to set everybody up for next week. And for the next month, when we talk about cryptocurrency and some other things, but it's an article I want everyone to read. It's going to kind of be your homework before we talk about it, because you might be saying, "Oh, it's the mark of the beast," or "No, it's gonna. When all power fails, you're going to lose your money." Actually, yeah, you're not. and you're like, "Well, doesn't it need its electronic currency? How does that work?" We'll get into that some. So, but everyone needs to be in cryptocurrency. Why? Because it is your future. Plain and simple. It's the future coming. You might as well be ahead of everyone else and getting into it. And we will prove that. Next thing is, I got a huge response about this, about interest in a home business or starting your own business. I'm so excited. I'm more excited about this than anything I've done in a while, because this is my life. I have consulted with tons of people about home-based businesses. I have many within my house. My family has many, and home-based business rocks. And everyone needs one. everyone, period. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to get I'll say personal with you guys, because as we go through and we go through some different businesses, I'm going to tell you, hey, that sounds like crap. Don't do it. I'm going to be perfectly honest, because if it's not about making money, bartering, and maybe even paying less tax, if all that is not involved, and if you have to work real hard to make a little money, I'm going to tell you that's a stupid idea. Don't do it. Let's look at something else. I'll be honest with you, and I'm going to let every one of you, I think it's important for me to work with every one of you, meaning you explain what you want to do, and I will, on the fly, will tell you if I think it works or not. Now, my business, I have a lot of experience. Well, anyway, we won't get into my business stuff. So anyway, that's what the business, and I'm going to start that next month, man. We're going to do home business, and I want to help every one of you. And you know what? Several of my leaders said, man, you should charge for that, Garvin. That's your world, starting up businesses. I've started several businesses and actually took them public from my home. You guys don't, but anyway, that's my world too. I got all these different worlds, it's weird. So they said, you should charge them. And so I'm not going to charge a dime, and anyone that wants to get involved, it's going to be awesome. And the way I'm going to do it is, hey, if you're successful in the business, help PrepperNet out. Boom. That's how I'm going to do it. And I won't ever know. And you know what? That'll just be the Lord that knows. So anyway, let us keep going. So I'm going to bring Patrick on, because he's got to talk about this thing coming up. Patrick, mute your volume, mute your family. I'm kidding. I'm going to bring you in, mute your family. You like that?
Yeah, well, it's more like mute all the radios that are around me, but you know how that goes.
Oh, yeah, you're in the basement again?
Yeah, I am. I'm in the bunker. And I also was going to make a comment about, your digital rights management email.
Oh.
But that's for HDMI and your DVD Blu-ray player, not for radio.
I screwed up. I'm sorry. I know you think I'm perfect, but I'm not. So tell us about this coming up on Sunday night.
Okay, so starting this Sunday, we are going to do the very first of what should become a weekly Sunday night digital HF net. We will be operating on 80 meters at 3.595 megahertz upper sideband. If for some reason you show up at 3.595 and there's some other signal there, dial down the band just a little bit. We'll move down the band to try to find an open spot, should there be some sort of QRM. We will be using the mode Contestia 4250, and we will be at 1,000 on the waterfall per the SOI that we use, and Amron's SOI. And we look forward to seeing as many folks that can get there, being there, checking in with us, shaking the bugs out of your digital communications, and don't think just because it says Eastern Central that at 9 p.m. on Sunday night that's the only people we'll hear, because the truth is by 9 p.m. we'll probably be getting into Texas and some surrounding areas like that too. So don't get scared off thinking, oh, you're not going to hear us. You might get surprised. So again, we look forward to seeing everybody there, and we will also be on the PrepperNet comms channel on Zello. If you have any questions, somebody should be there to help out.
Now, I know I'm like some of the people that are in there right now, and they go, "What the heck was all that?" I'll be honest. I have an HF rig. I have people coming over Saturday to help me hook it up. I hope to be on this net, but some of this stuff is new to me as well. And that's why this is Ham Month, so we can learn this.
Yeah. So a little bit about Contestia. There are a lot of different digital modes. Contestia is actually one of like 30 different digital modes that a piece of software that is free called FL Digi, stands for Fast Light Digital, that you can go download and install. It's kind of designed around emergency communications, but the Contestia mode in particular is a good balance between speed and good performance and not great band conditions. It's kind of a happy medium that lets us, transmit at a speed fast enough to actually be efficient, but still works in, not the best conditions.
Okay, time out. Let me translate to all the non-ham, us that are learning this, okay? Contestia is like your messenger on your phone. It allows you to send and receive text through HF radios, right?
Yeah, it's even to take it back really old school. I wish I had a picture that we could show of this. If you guys ever saw a teletype machine back in the 1960s that looked like a big typewriter, and it's literally the same kind of data that just types out on a keyboard. Would type out on a keyboard back then before computers.
Okay, I got a great question. It just came up. And it just came up. What's the matter with voice?
So there's not anything wrong with voice. But one of the common issues that we run into in HF communication with voice is efficiency and power in order to get a signal into areas that we may not have an excellent coverage into. Digital modes are far more efficient power wise. A good example of this is there's a gentleman here, Phil Tompkins, that's in the chat. He and I from my house can chat on about 5 watts HF digital. We have a really good path, but on single sideband voice, it takes 100 watts for us to be able to hear each other.
And that's because the ionosphere, correct?
No, it has to do with bandwidth.
Bandwidth. Okay.
Or I'm using a much smaller piece of spectrum, kind of like Morse code uses a very small amount of spectrum, where voice takes up a much bigger piece of spectrum, about 2.8 kilohertz as opposed to maybe 500 hertz. And I won't delve too far into how that works as far as efficiency and that kind of thing. But anyway, it's more efficient, and it also, with error correction and other things, pulls, garbage out of the noise better. Another cool thing about digital that I will throw in that is, worth mentioning as well is digital is a huge force multiplier. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't have enough people in my group for somebody to sit behind the radio all the time. And digital allows you to use a computer, and everyone says, oh, well, yeah, but you're not going to be able to run a computer. My Raspberry Pi draws about 350 milliamps of current, so like 4 or 5 watts of power, not much at all, and can monitor my radio all the time. And then when I come back, I can see if somebody sent me a message. It's pretty handy in that respect. And a lot of times with HF, because you are communicating over such a long distance, immediacy is not as critical as it may be with shorter range communications. If there's trouble headed your way and it's 400 miles away, still it's you got more time to come and find out about it than you do if it's 5 miles away or 2 miles away. So anyway, that's just kind of a little bit about digital. We will probably mess with phone a little bit, but it's always very frustrating for new folks on phone when you have a phone net and nobody can hear the net control station. It happens all the time on Amron. You'll have people on the Zello channel going, hey, is there a net control station on the voice section of the net? Because nobody can hear them. And that's just unfortunately the nature of that kind of thing. Band conditions will improve eventually, though.
And so what he just said for the last 5 minutes, if you don't understand a word he's saying, the goal is, and it's not going to be difficult for us because I'm learning this as well, for us to learn this. I am fortunate. I've got people coming Saturday to help me install my antenna and get everything set up for me and kind of just train me. I pick up things pretty quickly. You know what? I read a good book. I'm going to have to share this because I had to get my mind off my mom and all this stuff. I read this book, and I can't remember the name of it, but it talked about, and I do want to make this point. I'm going to make this point later on too. I mean, in other videos. There are specialists and there's generalists. And as a prepper, we need most people to be a generalist. You need to be good at water purification, food, all these different items. Because every time you find a specialist, they're the excellent and the best at ham radio or whatever they're doing, but all their other skills are always very, very weak. That's true with business. That's true with people. So that's true with everything. And so I am trying to be a generalist. Patrick, because his job happens to do with something in this field, he is a specialist. Now, I'm not saying his other areas are weak. I'm just saying that because he's got his wife. she rises up where because he focuses on comms a little bit. But we're going to learn this. We got to learn this. We got to know enough about how to do this. So let's keep going.
And another thing I'll go ahead and toss out there is, if you want to participate in the net, we don't have an email or anything set up yet, but you can just post on the PrepperNet.net site. You don't have to be an amateur radio operator. You don't have to have an amateur radio to participate. If you've got a shortwave radio that will do single sideband, SSB is what it'll be abbreviated as, you can find us and you can run the same digital software that we're running to transmit with on your laptop and copy it straight off of the HF receiver and hear what we're doing and send us a note and say, hey, we heard you.
Yep. And that's what ZeloNet will be up and running. The PrepperNet comms channel on Zello, and y'all can talk back and forth.
Yeah, you can check in there as well. Yep.
Okay. So let's keep moving forward. So I want to welcome everybody to March Ham Month. So here's our terms of the week. Notice it's not term of the week, it's terms. This is something that everyone needs to learn. This is easy, especially I'm in the military. This is easy. You absolutely, as a ham radio operator, need to know this. Why do you need to know this? Because sometimes on the radio, you can't fully understand what people are saying because of different reasons. But if you say Charlie, somewhere in that, you might only hear the Lee, and hey, that was Charlie. So when someone gives their call sign out, like I am W4GAR, so I would be Whiskey 4 Golf Alpha Romeo. That would be I would tell you that, and you could go, oh, I understand exactly what he's saying is the first letter. So you need to learn this. You need to memorize this. And this is good. Even if you're not going to do your ham, this is always good. Anytime you're on a walkie-talkie or anytime if someone doesn't understand you, if you use this, it's easier to understand what they're saying. Because I'm from the South, and sometimes I say letters and words that people in the North or from California, they have no idea what I'm saying. They think I'm talking a different language.
Hey, I use it on the telephone all the time when I'm trying to get somebody to copy an email address or something right. It just works.
Yep, it just works. Exactly. So I do want to mention, I want to thank Amron because we're using a lot of their information and a lot of their people for what we're doing. So I do want to thank them. And the goal this month, I don't want anyone to forget this. I want to drive this home. The goal this month is to take our communication skills to the next level. So no matter where you are, we want to take them up a little bit. And so here's some samples I always had. I've been using. If you have no radio, you purchase radio. If you have your general license, you get your expert license. If you've never talked on a repeater, you talk on a repeater. Whatever you just go through here. And the goal is to get your level, go up and expand your knowledge and your experience with radios. That's the whole idea for this month. So even if you're a newbie, there's things that you could be doing. Even if you're an expert, like an expert could go, you know what? I've never taught someone how to use a radio, and that could be new for them. So anyway, so here's some of the documents we're still working on. We've released several of these. But we're going to have all these documents. We'll be releasing these over the next few days and weeks and months. But we're going to have communication is going to be a big part of PrepperNet. And we're hoping that instead of when we do a survey, everyone says that medical and comms are their weakest. We want you to be able to at least be a generalist at comms at this point, at the end of this. Be able to just be a technician and talk on a repeater and talk to other people. That's a great stopping point for some. Other people, they want to be a general, and so they can talk on HF and use the HF and learn how to do that. So not everyone has to get on the net that we're going to do Sunday night. Just know that. Just know that, just keep learning, but keep learning in all areas.
And if you don't have the skill set to do that at this point, but you're part of a city group and you want to participate and you want to work together, the goal would eventually be for those folks that do not have that don't have the skill set or the interest in, communicating around the country, for them to be able to get information from someone in their group that does, and build that network and build that community. Because like Forrest was saying, not everybody's got to specialize in everything. We need to, generally do a lot of different things.
Yep. And so I'll just tell you, I'll share my experience in the last 40 days. I got DMR. I'm on the talk groups. And I also have hotspots. I got 2 hotspots. We'll talk about them in a minute and what all that means. I didn't know DMR I didn't even know DMR existed 45 days ago. I didn't. Now I talk on it all the time and I'm learning. And also, I had major problems with my hotspot, which is awesome. I told Bravo 65 today that was the best thing. I had to reboot it. I had to learn how to put software on a Pi and get it. I've never done this before in my life. I've never even seen a Raspberry Pi or a Pi before 40 days ago. And now, because I had so much problems with it, I know that thing inside and out now. I can program that thing, and it's easy. It's like fill in the blank, and I told Bravo, man, that was great. Now I can help others because I went through some tough times with that sucker. It was frustrating, but I got through it. And it's pretty easy, actually. It was just a lot of it was just dumb me doing dumb things wrong. But anyway, let's keep going. So I do want everybody to know that we have Patrick Adams and we have Bravo 65. They're our main comms people. They're on the .net site all the time. 24 hours a day, they'll answer your questions live because they don't sleep. Right? No? Okay. We do have a nice, cool logo, though. Isn't that sweet? So let's talk about DMR. I'm going to do what is DMR, not DRM. DMR we'll call this, because I was a dummy, or I was an idiot, or I was not informed 40 days ago. So I'm going to tell you and explain it to you like I wish someone would have explained it to me. Okay? I hope that'll help. All you ham freaks out there go, well, what you mean? I just don't think I can dumb it down anymore because I wish someone would have explained it to me like this. And I hope it's okay. So what is DMR? DMR stands for Digital Mobile Radio, and is an international standard that has been defined for two-way radios. The DMR standard allows equipment developed by different manufacturers to operate together on the same network for, everything work together. So it's like a standard. It's digital, though. It's a standard. It's not, analog. That's been working in the past. Everyone analog. Our radio's been analog for 100 and some years, but now in the digital, there's more than just DMR. There's Fusion. What other ones are there, Patrick?
There's D-Star. There's APCO P25. If anybody's actually using that in ham, I know a few people are. There's Kenwood's got something. I don't remember what it's called. It's like NX or something. But pretty much every manufacturer's got their own proprietary digital mode, which brings us to why that I personally like DMR is because you're not buying into one person's ecosystem. I think that's really been the hindrance to digital adoption in amateur radio for a long time. Is you were stuck with either Forrest bought Yaesu, I bought ICOM. We couldn't talk to each other.
Right. So I'm going to show you guys. We're going to watch a couple of videos because this is also going to. I'm going to explain DMR, but I want you to see this couple short videos, and I want you to pick up some possibilities that what we can do with DMR that we can't do with any other radio. Okay. So I think that one of the videos is next. Okay. So, I got to click on this.
All right, guys. I've gotten a lot of questions about the digital mode in a grid down or a survival situation, and how these digital modes can help you in a survival kind of a radio situation. So this is a very, very quick video. I'm just going to kind of demonstrate how this stuff works. And here's the beautiful thing about it. Not everybody is going to have these digital modes, and there's, 3 or more to pick from. So the chances of everybody in your area having, say, Fusion or D-Star or DMR is very, very slim, and especially in a survival situation. So you find yourself in a grid down survival situation. You need tactical communications and you need them secure. Right now, I am talking on FM simplex. This is the way that most people are going to be using handheld short range communications is in this FM mode. But what if I switch my mode? Now I'm standing here talking, and this is what the guys on FM are going to hear. Now the beautiful thing is, if we were in an actual tactical grid down kind of a situation, and you wanted secure comms with your family and friends that not everybody else in the world is going to be able to scan and tune into, you've got it right now. Everything coming in on the FM side is sounding like hash. We are now sounding crystal clear and communicating. So my recommendation is, if you're looking for radios for a grid down, shit hits the fan kind of a situation, my suggestion is buy a couple of the same mode. That way you can pass them out to your group, and you guys can use these things as secure comms in a survival grid down, shit hits the fan, end of the world as we know it kind of a situation. So guys, this was just a very, very short video just to show you the capabilities of a digital radio.
Okay. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. So that guy was using DMR because not many people have DMR radios. So he is saying that, hey, DMR could be quite secure. If everyone and their brother has all these bell fangs, they won't be able to hear a word you're saying. So I'm going to show you one more quick video. This is only a minute long because DMR will also allow you to do encrypted radio. Now, it's against the rules. Let me do an asterisk to do it on a ham band when there's law, when there's people that can enforce the law. But watch this guy and what he says and what he does with this particular radio.
Okay, I'm testing one anytone radio to another on DMR call, channel 1. KB2 MXC testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that worked fine. I'm going to switch my other radio to the same channel, just with an encryption. So it's DMR call 1, but my second radio is going to be transmitting on with an encryption. So let's hear how it sounds on the regular DMR call 1. So that's what it sounded like on the simplex channel without encryption. Now let me turn this radio to DMR call 1 with the same encryption as the other radio. KB2 MXC testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see.
Okay, so why did I show you that? So right now, it's against the law to do encryption with an amateur band radio frequency. When the crap hits the fan, boom, my group can switch over to encryptions and legally talk within our group. No one else will be able to understand us because, you know, if your group has Belfangs, which my group has over 400 and some Belfang radios, everyone and their brother is will be able to hear us no matter where they are. They have a scanner. They can pick us up. Boom. They got us. They can hear every word we're saying. Well, so when it's encrypted, first of all, they probably might not have DMR. And second of all, they will be encrypted. And all of a sudden our group can be secure. And someone just said DMR is not the same as encryption. DMR is not secure.
So
Go ahead.
So DMR, none of the digital modes are secure. Kind of the point of the first video was there are certain things you can do to basically kind of try to secure yourself by obscurity. There are fewer people out there with DMR radios and the skill set to program a DMR radio to listen to a talk group that they don't know the group number for. So it does provide a little bit of a level of obscurity. But yeah, it is not encryption. There are scanners that can grab it, but it does provide, again, a little bit of obscurity, just like any other digital mode provides a little obscurity. As for encryption, yeah, you can encrypt DMR. As Forrest said, it is illegal on the amateur radio bands to use encryption. It's runs afoul of the spirit of amateur radio. But if you do happen to have an organized group, then, it might be worth looking at a commercial license, a business license for your group, at which you could run encryption if you want to, because you're not in the amateur bands at that point, and you can do it legally today if that's something that, interests a larger group that's a little more organized.
Right. And so a lot of people are saying, well, it's not truly, give me a break. I mean, if I'm the lucky guy that my group has a guy, 3 miles from my group that has recording equipment that knows how to decipher it, I would be that lucky. That would be my group. I mean, anyway, when 99.9999999% of the world can't understand what you're saying, I consider that encryption. I consider that's pretty dang secure. Again, it's not from the government. We never are talking about government stuff here anyway. But anyway, so any more comments on that, Patrick?
No, it's just, that's just a situation of, being secure enough that the, what is it that Sam Culper calls the gang, the Leroy Jenkins gang or something, is a little less likely to hear what you're doing. But the thing is, there's very little encryption on radios that cannot be broken. It's just unfortunately too complicated. But it does, have its levels, and that kind of. So
So we're going to talk about, I'm getting ready to go into DMR and how it works a little bit, how a dummy like me can understand it. But we do have talk groups. I want everybody to, if you already have DMR, these are our talk groups right here. We have the Brand Miser talk group, and then we have the TGIF talk group. Our go-to is always the top one, the Brandmeister talk group. We had some issues. We were using one, we got kicked off, all this kind of stuff. But now we think we're good to go. So these things have been posted as well. So we're actually doing a net every single day during the week at noon and 8. And I have that information later on in here. But here's DMR as Forrest Garvin sees it through his eyes. Okay, so I'm going to do this so I can make sure you guys can still hear me. Yeah, I think so. I think you can. So DMR. So on the left over here, on your left, it has a Anytone radio, and it has two different types of hotspots. So you connect your hotspot to the internet. So you transmit on your radio, it goes to the little antenna, and that little antenna then takes it and it's in digital and then puts it on the internet. And then the internet is where we can all meet and talk. So anyone that has a DMR radio, as long as we're in the same talk group, we can meet on the internet in this virtual room. That's where the globe is with a little mouse, okay? And then people that have their radio and they're driving along, I did this the other day, driving along, they can connect to a repeater that takes that same signal, puts it on the internet, and boom, on the globe, we can all meet and talk together, no matter where you are in the world. You could be in Russia with a radio, a DMR radio with our talk group, a little hotspot in your room, transmit it through the internet, and we could all talk together. That's pretty cool. And then other people can use repeaters. Now, these repeaters, there are a lot of them in the United States, the Brandmeister one. And you can go through the repeater, go through a hotspot, and we can all talk together. It would be just like using Zello. Am I right, Patrick?
That is absolutely right. And it is a wonderful training tool, to get folks experience on the radio and, losing that fear of the push to talk button because, everybody here's kind of got the same goals. So it's easy to check into a net here.
Yeah. And so just imagine now we have PrepperNet people all throughout the United States that they only have their technician license. That's all they have. That's all they need. And so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are using like hotspots. They're all connected to the internet. We're all in this talk group. And then we got 2 here that are actually connected through an antenna. So let me tell you what I did on my way back from my mom's house, from my mom's where she lived. I think I was going there. I have a mobile hotspot, which I will show you guys right now. It's that small one. It's this one here. Y'all see this? I put this one. I'm going to remove this so you guys can see me a little bit better. See this? This is my mobile hotspot. See, I connect a battery pack right here to the 5 volts, just like you would charge your phone up. It connects to my cell phone, and I was driving down the road with this in my car. I didn't even have to have it in the window. You think, what? Because my radio is going to hit it, nothing, and then this thing goes to my cell phone. And then I was talking on the net by using this thing, connecting to my cell phone with my radio in my hand. So this transmits to this, that then connects to my hotspot on my phone, and I was driving down the road talking to Bravo 65 and others by using this little device here. That's called a hotspot. We're going to go through that. But on this next slide here, as you can see here, we're all, imagine everyone, all the technicians in general, the experts in PrepperNet, if they have an antenna, they can just use not an antenna, I'm sorry, a repeater, or they can have their own hotspot for $100. It's $100, and it works cross-platform, so you can actually have an Anytone. You can have a Baofeng. Yes, they have DMR Baofengs, and they're cheap, and I've heard great things about them. But so for $179, you could have this set up from home and get on our DMR network. So we are all on the little globe there. We're all talking together, having a net, no matter where you are in the world. Any comments on that, Patrick?
No, I think you've covered a lot of that. There's a couple of questions that have popped up over here that I want to address right quick.
Okay.
First, the brand model of that little mobile hotspot that Forrest had, it's an MMDVM, I believe. You can get them on Amazon for like $108. They're very inexpensive and they work really well. I have one. It's what I'm using. I wasn't going to pay what Bridgecom wanted for a Sky Bridge. And then the other question related to internet. So yes, correct. As the commenter said, if the internet goes down, then obviously your hotspot is not going to work. But one thing that we do have to kind of keep in mind is, this really wasn't designed around using hotspots. It's a commercial radio application that was designed around using repeaters and linking them either via microwave IP or hardwired IP. So if you can access a repeater that has internet connectivity from your particular location, then you can most likely dial up our talk group and use it. So even if the internet and the power is not working at your home because of an ice storm or whatever, if the internet and power is working at the tower site, where the repeater is, then you can absolutely access it and use it. So it may not be a viable solution for a large scale grid down, but in a situation where the cell phone towers are overloaded, but some hardwired communications are still working, that kind of thing, or an isolated occurrence like tornadoes, severe weather, that kind of thing, then you can absolutely still use DMR and communicate with everyone. And I can go into a little bit more about that later if folks are interested. But FEMA jumped big into the digital modes about a decade ago for emergency communications because they loved the idea of linking stuff out of the affected area. But
yep.
I won't hold it up.
So one of the questions was, if you have a DMR radio, you don't need a hotspot, right? No, you do, and unless you have an antenna.
If you got a repeater that's on the Brandmeister network nearby, then you can pull up the talk group on it. Brandmeister network is fairly common. I'm not sure how common it is in North Carolina. I haven't seen any in Western North Carolina. I was looking for one since I go over there periodically. But in Tennessee, I know they are very common, and in a lot of other states, they're pretty common too.
Yep. And then the next question is, let's see. So you do need a hotspot if you don't have a Brandmeister antenna or antenna repeater in your area, but it's $100. And does the UV5R connect to it? No, it does not. A UV5R is not DMR, but I'm getting ready to show you the equipment, and then we'll let Patrick geek out. So here's what I have. I love this. So, but think big picture here, because everyone in my family is now going to own one of these Anytone radios. One, because I've learned it. Two, it does DMR. And three, we can go encrypt it if we need to within the family. I like that. I like the idea of that less than 40 people in North Carolina could absolutely de-encrypt my information or even find it. So I do like that. So this radio is an unbelievable one. And if you go to Bridgecom Systems and you buy something, use my referral link. I have a partnership with them. They love me because we sold a bunch of them for them. I didn't get paid for any of them. And I'm like, well, dude, maybe we should do a thing. And they go, yeah, we would love to work with you guys. And so they're working with us. And once you buy an Anytone, The best thing about Bridgecom is their training. They have the absolutely best training on earth when it comes to, I think, any product you buy. They have videos on everything, how to set it up, how to do. I mean, it's great. If you just buy it, and it's called Bridgecom University, and they give it to you for free if you buy it. So the cool thing with this one is, I'm going to just geek out a little bit. See the little thing to the left of the radio? That's a push to talk button. You can put that on your finger, and you don't have to actually hold the radio to talk. And it's actually Bluetooth. And it works. I mean, it works real well. So anyway, so this model here goes for $239. Now, again, it's not a Belfang. It's 10 times a Belfang cost, but you got digital, and it goes, I think, further than analog. And there's a possibility to be totally secure that no one could understand what you're saying. You got any comments on that?
Actually, I have a question for you. Does the little push to talk button, because I've not messed with mine, does it work with your Bluetooth headset connected as well?
Yes, it does. So I had my AirPods connected, and I had that, and I was keying up. And actually, I have one of these for my Zello app too, so I was very familiar with this item. So with the Zello at my church, we will put everybody on, not on the radios, but we also put everybody on the Zello. So if you're on duty, you're on the radios. If you're off duty, you're on Zello, and you can listen in, and we broadcast on both. And you could put a little earbud in your ear with your Zello app on your phone and have the push to talk in your hand. So it works. But yes, it works with your earbuds, Bluetooth
Cool.
earbuds.
I'm gonna have to try it out with my my brain just went blank. Anyway, with my Ear Pro, I've got Bluetooth ear protection, so I want to mess with that with the Anytone. Haven't got to do that yet. So somebody asked a question about, are English phrase crypts legal? In amateur radio, that is a really gray area. Anything to obscure the message is technically not legal. Although there are lots of Q codes and various other abbreviations that have long been accepted in amateur radio. So, like I said, that's a gray area, and you kind of got to make your own decisions on some of that stuff.
Drummer Girl said, can a technician operate this radio? Absolutely. Every feature on that radio you can operate. Yep. So let me show you a lesser expensive radio. I don't have this particular radio, but I've actually heard good things about it. It looks like a UV5R, but it's a Belfang DMR ham radio, and it is $79. Now, here's the thing as well. Now, the toughest thing about digital radio is doing so they, like Belfang, they have offline where you can use chirp, put all your frequencies in, and then program the radio. Well, the same thing for digital, but it's a little bit, it's just 5 times more complicated. And so
I don't know if it's 5 times more complicated. It's definitely 5 times more work.
Okay, it's 5 times more work. And so what I was fortunate enough, because I have Bravo 65 on my team, he created what they call a code plug, which is nothing more than the program like in Chirp that you upload to a Belfang. He got some of it from somebody else and put the stuff that we needed in there, and it's got like everything programmed, like every DMR tower in the Southeast is programmed on my phone. I mean, everyone in South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, even Georgia, and all these different talk groups, all this stuff, and it's already programmed on my phone. But so it's called a code plug. So, and I'm sure they have one for your area if you get involved in your local ham club.
And just another plug for Bridgecom with that. Bridgecom website, if you get an Anytone 878 or 868 or any of the Anytones, there is a repository on their website where people share code plugs that have for different regions. So if you live in, Austin, Texas, there's probably something there that will at least get you started.
Yes. And then, so I've learned how to talk, to connect, to actually program the Pi and work that. What I haven't learned is how to do the code plug. And I told Bravo today a couple things. And this week I'm going to learn is how to modify the code plug and put my own repeaters on there, my analog repeaters, because this talks on analog and digital. Not sure if I said that. But also, I'm going to learn how to actually program it from the front screen. I don't know how to do that yet. So I'm a master at the other stuff, but I won't say I'm master. I know how to do it. But so there's stuff. And then once I learn this, and once you learn this, you get your code plug set, there's just edits in the future. I can move on to the next thing. And that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm not planning on camping out here for long. I'm going to master it, get 80% knowledge. Anything past 80% knowledge becomes an expert. And that's where I don't want to be an expert. I just want to be a generalist, like at the 80% level of about everything that I do. So this is $79. My question to you, or Philip, which is in the chat room, will the code plug for a Anytone work for a Bail thing? I don't know that answer.
I'm going to go with a probably not.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Fortunately, digital modes across really any of the radios, be it DMR, D-Star, System Fusion, whatever, pretty much all of those, you're stuck using the manufacturer's CPS, the radio programming software, and it's all different, and it's not necessarily compatible. Unlike Chirp. Chirp's kind of a new invention in the last 10, 15 years that allows you to easily swap stuff back and forth. Nobody had that option a long time ago. So, I don't know if there's a way to do that.
So the coolest thing again, people, with this radio, we can have a national net using really a 2 meter or in a sense, a 2 meter radio, and do a national net, a 2 meter or 70 centimeter radio. We do a national net through the internet. So people go, what if the grid goes down? Well, if the grid goes down, that's why you need extra skills. But in a disaster, you use the best communications possible. So the only time a grid's going to go down is an EMP or just a storm comes and just completely annihilates an area. Other than that, you got 90 other disasters you can use this for. So the next thing is the hotspot.
Yeah.
So this, go ahead. Oh, okay. This is the hotspot. Now I have the Skybridge.
I was just going to say that,
go ahead.
That's the thing about communications.
Say that you broke up there. Hello. Okay. I think something's wrong. His audio is cutting in and out. I hope you guys, if y'all can't hear me, y'all let me know.
Forrest, we've got some lag.
Okay. So the next thing I have is a Skybridge. Now this is also about Bridgecom. This thing is a hefty price tag. I was told that this was the best, and so I wanted.
Do you have me now?
I hear you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was told that this was one of the best, so I went with this one because I see myself using this when we go to a PrepperNet event. I can throw this up, and boom, we can all jump in on a hotspot on a talk group at the event. Like when we go to Heritage Life Skills coming up in May, this will be set up, and everyone that has DMR, this PrepperNet, boom, we'll be right there. We'll be able to talk to each other kind of in our own private group. So anyway, but this one, like I said, it's a hefty price tag. This one's $349. They do have a bundle. I think you save a little bit of money. But so I have the Anytone and I have the Skybridge. Also, the small one people were asking about is this one. I also have this one. This is a tiny. When I say tiny, this is the size of this one. I think this one is, let's see, it's $108. See that? And only thing this needs to be connected to is power, 5 volts. Sorry. DC. So any power bank gets it going. Are you okay over there, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm all right. I had to restart the
Okay.
StreamYard link. It went weird.
Okay. But this only thing connected to this is a cord to your little battery pack that charges your phone. And then it connects wirelessly to your phone and wirelessly to your radio. So this is $108. This is what Patrick has right here. And I have it one, and then I also have the Bridgecom. So with that said, we do have on the Brandmeister that if you see us say BM, that means brand Meister. We have daily nets at 12 and 8 Eastern. And we're doing that for the reason is we have to earn the right to keep the Brandmeister kind of talk group.
Yeah, if we don't use it, we'll lose it because that's
Yes.
a problem with people setting up talk groups and then abandoning them.
Yes. So with that said, I think that's all I have, except I have Bravo apparently didn't make it this evening because he is at work. I mean, I told him to quit his job. This is more important. But so we will. When I say we will take questions, Patrick will take questions.
And I see a question over there. Somebody asked 2 meter versus DMR versus 40/80 meters, which is most important. I would say get a 2 meter radio. They're cheap because you're going to use it a lot more than anything else, and it's portable. And then after that, 40 and 80 meters. HF because it works without any infrastructure at all. So it is the ultimate in being able to communicate off the grid. But being a communications guy, it doesn't matter what we communicate with. It can be a fax machine or a cell phone, whatever's the best tool and happens to be working at the time. So,
yep. And I will say that we've been getting 15 or so people. This is brand new, this DMR stuff for us. 15 people in the net, like on a daily. So, any other thing you want to cover there, Patrick?
Let's see. I think we've covered a lot of the DMR. Digital mode, interesting, useful stuff, and where that kind of fits into, PrepperNet. It's been very cool to see, the 11, 15, whatever, so people that are checking in on DMR. I was actually kind of surprised that they got 11 on the first day. It's not exactly the most user-friendly mode to set up initially. So everybody that's been doing that, you guys are doing great with that, and I think it's a valuable tool for PrepperNet. Somebody asked me if I'm ever around Arden, North Carolina. I'm not sure where Arden, North Carolina is. Maybe not. I'm in East Tennessee, so I'm in Western North Carolina from time to time, but that's about it.
Yeah, his ankle bracelet only lets him go 60 miles. What? Was that a lag, or you literally took that long to get it?
No, I'm getting a lag again. I don't know what's going on. Your hand, like it's like the Windows cursor with the shadow behind it as you were moving your video there. So
gotcha. Any more questions in the chat room? If you guys have any questions whatsoever, so PrepperNet is going DMR for sure. We love it. We like it. I like the idea of it gets technician class people with your licensed technician class license that you can participate in a nationwide network. So you're not just talking. So if you don't have a 2 meter, matter of fact, you could be in the boonies, and as long as you got internet, you can connect through your hotspot, this little $100 hotspot, and connect to us, and we can be a part of our net. So imagine now all these people doing Zello, with the right equipment, we can be doing that in the real world. We call it the real world when it comes to radio, and you get skills. And then the coolest thing is when the grid goes, when crap hits the fan, this thing becomes even more powerful or useful to talk within your group, so there could be somewhat of a secure communication. I love it. And I will be buying the Alphane. I feel like I need to buy one of them as well and figuring that out.
Well, and Bravo 65 was having issues yesterday. He's got a Radio Diddy one, and apparently he did a firmware update and had issues. So be advised, if you have one of those, you do a firmware update, there may be a glitch. Yeah.
Put an ankle signal on a repeater for more distance. See?
Yeah.
So
I saw that.
Yeah, that's fun. That's funny.
I think driving into North Carolina, it probably wouldn't work anyway, because that section of 40 is not exactly an RF friendly location.
No.
And somebody said DMR would be even better if it could route through 2-meter nets when needed. I've not done it, but I would bet that there is a way to interface DMR into analog FM. The same way we do with All Star or Echo Link or something like that. It would just be with a repeater controller and getting basically the audio and some kind of COS for push to talk, as I just geeked out and lost forest on how repeaters work.
Okay. I just remember something, guys. This is big. This is huge. This is huge. With how we're going to do our Brandmeister, Philip, correct me if I'm wrong here. He just hit it where I was going. You will be able to use Echo Link, which is a software on your phone, to connect to our net and talk from your phone into our net using like the All-Star Link bridge and all this. Am I telling the truth, Philip? I think we have to set that up. But
it looks like he says there's a way to bridge DMR to All Star. I've not tried it. I'll have to look into it. But
yeah. So we should be able to connect it so that anyone, even you don't even have to have your radio at times. You could use the Echo Link, which is a software. You have to have your technician license. You install on your phone. It's free, and you can transmit just like you talk on your radio. We'll block any connections from this will only work. Oh, it will only work on the TGI network. Okay. See, I was almost right. That's the story of my life. So if you have the money to spend, is it better to get a Skybridge hotspot?
Forrest, you've got one. You can comment on it, but they're all a Raspberry Pi with a dual SDR hat on it. That's what they are.
Yes.
Bridgecom, you're paying a lot for support that I don't know that you really need.
Okay, looking back, the Bridgecom is kind of like the Mercedes. It will work, and you got an incredible support team behind you. You call them, they'll call you back immediately. I mean, you had problems, didn't you? They called you back immediately or something?
I had a question about the Anytones in a Part 90 application because I've got some commercial licenses I wanted to program in it as well as the amateur stuff.
Yep. And so, but you get a lot of support. You're getting the Mercedes-Benz with support, and it's rugged and it's nice. But this thing right here for $108, it does the exact same thing. There's zero support to this, but it's $108. You toss in the trash can and buy 3 of these. Bridgecom will support you. They have amazing support. Yes, they do. I don't know what to say. Let's Philip, I know, knows a lot about this more than I do. I say if money's an issue, go with this.
And
the same thing.
There's plenty of support for
Patrick's breaking up again.
That,
Bridgecom big value is the training they make available.
They've been around for a long
time. If you go with their plug and play, yeah, they have a plug and play package. So Bridgecom, you get everything you need. They help you get set up, pretty much. So that's the. I mean, now knowing what I know, I'm still glad I got both, to be honest with you, because I wanted to have both. I personally own a cheap $100 jumbo spot. Yes. So Philip has a $100 one, but Bridgecom is the bomb when it comes to support and helping you in every area. So any more questions here? So DMR, we're doing a net every day at noon and at 8 p.m. I don't know if we did the 8 p.m. tonight. Maybe we didn't. Because I did. That's when I started this. And if you can get on, but it will take your so there's skill level of talking on the radio. And if you don't talk, you don't build them skills up. And what happens with this, I'll sit right here and talk to Bravo, and we just talk back and forth, and it's building my skills up and making sure I do my call sign right and being able to talk to people that are not just waiting on a 2-meter net locally is awesome. And talking to your friends. So imagine talking to your friends, no matter where they are, or people you know throughout the world. Yeah.
And another great thing about it is, we need net control stations, and it's a great opportunity for somebody to hop in, be net control. Nobody here is going to make fun of you if you do something dumb or you mess up. We all have to learn somewhere, and it's a lot, more forgiving of a room than being on your local 2-meter repeater with, every crusty, amateur radio operator that's been doing this for 30 years critiquing your performance. So, it's a great place to build that kind of skill set as well.
Well, there's another comment in here that said the Skybridge can run both Brandmeister and TGIF networks simultaneously. The small hotspot does only one network at a time. Or could they can this one run both as well? I don't know.
It can. You have to be on the newest firmware, and the configuration's a little funky, but there's actually instructions on the PrepperNet.net site on how to do it that are very straightforward, very easy. So yeah, it'll do it.
And this does have a digital display here. So does the Skybridge as well. It's pretty cool. You can see in the Skybridge, you can see the call sign. It's pretty cool, and you can and it gives you your IP address. I like them both. I like the the Skybridge better for sure, but I don't want that big thing. This one just fits in my car, boom, and works. Oh, and also the Skybridge does come with a battery backpack, which we can't overlook that. It comes with a like a charging cord and a little battery that you can connect that one to as well, because it runs off the same power, 5 volts, as this one. It's just a little bit more. It's bigger and more kind of robust, I guess.
And the little one is actually running a Raspberry Pi Zero. So if you want to look up the specs on it, that's actually what's doing the heavy lifting. It seems to do just fine.
Okay. It's my first. I got 2. What's the Skybridge running?
I think it's a Pi 3B Plus, maybe.
Sweet.
It's a bigger one. It's the same one I'm running FLDigi and everything on my radio, on my HF radio stuff. So a little more power hungry too.
Yep. We should have had Philip in here. I don't know why we didn't, since Bravo can.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, we need to drag him in here at some point.
Yeah. So how do I get rid of this?
Let's see, there was one other thing I wanted to mention, and then I forgot. The other thing I do want to mention before we wrap this up, probably here shortly, I need some HF digital net control stations. Most of us that are on here are located in either east or central regions of the U.S. I know we have PrepperNet members that are in the west and Pacific area. So at some point, I would love to get something going out there for those folks. We just need some volunteers. So reach out to us on the PrepperNet.net side if that's something you might be interested in doing.
Yes, I agree. So with that, let me the next thing we have, of course, any last words before we any last words? I do know, hey, every Sunday night, starting this Sunday, we're going to be going through GMRS. Don't get your license yet. Don't get your license yet. Wait until, according to Philip, I think he's being attacked by a werewolf. Wait until April 14th. Is that right, Philip? Or Patrick? Patrick? He's gone. Patrick. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah, ARRL sent something out earlier. ARRL sent something out earlier this week.
We lost him. He dropped again. I'm telling you, that bunker is too far in the ground. So anyway, okay. Philip just said that the price. So anyone can get a GMRS license by just filling out a form. That's all you do, and it covers your entire family. So everyone in your family can use that license. So it's going to go from $70 to $35 April 14th, I think.
It's probably going to be this summer before it does.
What?
Yeah, they're filing the paperwork. ARRL released a press release on this earlier this week that while I don't know how the whole thing of it becoming law, because it's the government, goes, but there's a bunch of steps it's got to go through before it happens. So it'll probably be midsummer before we actually see it.
Oh, well, that stinks. I read that was like April, I guess maybe 19th. But anyway, we'll see. But the price is going to drop to $35, and it's a form and it's a fee, and it's good for 10 years, and it covers, I think, your entire family.
They're very loose about the definition of family in that too. It's like grandparents, grandkids, cousins. It's like I said, it's pretty loose. It's a good value.
Okay.
We'll talk more about that on Sunday when we talk about some of the capabilities of GMRS, because they're really not that much different than the 70 centimeter amateur band.
And I know North Carolina has great networks or repeaters in the mountains when it comes to GMRS. Yep.
East Tennessee has some very good ones as well, and a lot of other states do.
Okay, and so I guess if you have any last things to say, we'll end this. And I hope so. What we're trying to do is motivate you to at least try. You're gonna have to upgrade from your Baofeng $25 radio and get something in this arena. But I'm telling you, it changes your. I mean, if you don't get on the HF net, which we hope everyone does get there, but it changes the way you communicate on the internet, not the internet, through your ham, when you can talk to people in California, Alaska, North Carolina, and it's on your handheld, like literally like you're talking to them on a 2 meter repeater or something. And then it gives you more practice because you're using it. You use it just the same as you're on a net or a 2 meter repeater or something. So you get practice. It changes who you can talk to. You use your radio more often. Then we'll do nets for PrepperNet. where everyone from around the U.S. can come on at one time and we can talk. And there'll be a time we almost monitor that now 24 hours a day. I would say during daylight hours, I monitor it most of the time. And I know that Bravo's on there most of the time, and we have someone on there. So anytime you just want to jump on and talk to someone, boom, you could probably find someone. And our goal is to get hundreds and hundreds of people on this so that we can, it builds community as well. Okay. I think that's it.
I think so too.
Okay. So we will see you guys Sunday night at 8 p.m. If you have any questions whatsoever, go to preppernet.net. Go in there to the ham month or the comms. There's information in both of them. And I will post the thing in the ham month, this video, so people can go and watch it again. Not sure the way you'd want to do that, but if you did, I mean, I'm kind of slow too, so I understand. So anyway, we will see you on the .net site, and you guys will see you Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Y'all take care. Bye.